Brenda Underwood. I am so excited to be coming to you guys tonight and sharing on our topic of crafting a winning life with a work-life balance program and a blueprint for the future you. And so I am so excited about our grand finale of work-life balance from the bedroom to the boardroom. If you're a high achieving woman ready to stop surviving and start thriving, I don't know about you, but I've been there. I have been there where you're just surviving. You keep doing the same things and the results aren't coming the way you want. And you feel like your life is chaotic and you don't feel like you're thriving. This live is for you. This is your moment tonight. We are crafting a winning life with bold blueprint that aligns with your identity, your influence, and your inner peace. God says that you can have it all from the bedroom to the boardroom. We started this with Proverbs 31 and talking about how she was a phenomenal woman of God, an entrepreneur, and a mother of young children, and a wife that was respected by her husband. And so when we're looking at what we're talking about tonight, we are building a winning life, a blueprint that aligns with all those three areas: your identity, your influence, your leadership, and your inner peace. Because success without balance is not winning. If you are burnt out, frustrated, busted, and disgusted, it is not a winning life. So let's get into what does it take to craft a winning life. We have gone over a plethora of different items and topics that I'm going to recap real quick. But the whole purpose of this series of work-life balance from the bedroom to the boardroom, it's all about helping you win personally and professionally. You may not be in the boardroom, but you are a leader in some capacity. And I am so excited to be the leader that gets to speak to your leader on the inside of you. And I want to help you do this without burnout, without frustration, and constantly worrying about the ups and downs of life. There is a balance that you can achieve that will help you grow, help you thrive. So, with that being said, let's get right on into it. So, we talked about in the previous lives, we have talked about everything up under the sun, have we not? So, let's just take a quick stroll back down memory lane. So we have talked about what work life is, and that's creating the priorities you need in order for you to create balance. Remember, we talked about we don't schedule our time. What we want to do as winners, as women who are balanced, we schedule our priorities. Right? So we are scheduling our priorities. We're not scheduling our time. We are looking for what are the priorities in my life? What priorities align with my values, my dreams, my goals, my religious belief, my spirituality? Every one of us are unique. And if you're taking notes, I'd like for you to write this down. As much as we are the same, we are different. So when we begin to look at a strategy, I don't tell people cookie cutter strategies. I customize strategies because we are all different as much as we are the same. So there's some things that will work for you. There's some things that won't work for you. Either way, what we really want to make sure we do is that we put together a winning life that is unique for you, unique for Antoinette, unique for Anne, unique for Jasmine, unique for Debbie. We want a winning life strategy that meets our needs, not the needs of society, not the needs of our mom, our dad, our husband, our spouse, whatever. We want to craft a winning life, and we hold the pen. We hold the pen and we hold the paper to write the life that we want. So if you're joining me tonight, please say hello in the chat. Put your comments in the chat. Hello, winners. I am so excited to come to you tonight and talk about crafting a winning life based on balance, a balanced life. And so we talked about, hey, Antoinette, I'm so glad you're here. So we talked about the initial, what does work life balance look like? And we talked about protecting your peace, having healthy boundaries. We also talked about the power of saying no without guilt. That's getting rid of the people pleasing. That's getting rid of the need for outside validation. We spent two Tuesday night steak dinners. We call this the Tuesday night steak dinner because I go all in and I open the vault. I share with you as much information as I can share in an hour 15. And so we needed two to cover how to crush overwhelm the overwhelm of imbalance, part 1 and part 2. Then we did a whole live on decision fatigue, how multitasking and the mess of stress is causing you to make decisions that are not always in alignment with balance. And we give you, every one of these lives are jam-packed full of tools to help you win. But that particular live talked about the mess of stress, decision fatigue, monotasking versus multitasking, getting into your energy zone and your focus zones, and balancing the scales with emotional intelligence. And we talked about that last week. And when we talked about emotional intelligence, we went through 15 areas that female leaders struggle with imbalance, and identifying need to recalibrate and bring that balance into mind, right? What do you need to do? You can't fix something that you don't declare is broken, right? And so when we talked about emotional intelligence, hey, Beth, I'm so excited you're here. Beth and Antoinette, you two women need to meet. Both of you guys are up in the Habersham Hall County area, and both of you guys are into holistic health and care for the body. So Antoinette and Beth, I hope you guys connect on social media. Thank you so much for being here. And so what we're talking about tonight in Crafting Your Winning Life, I want to recap what we talked about: emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, while also being able to perceive and influence the emotions of others. People always say to me, somebody else can't make you happy. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because somebody else can make you unhappy, right? I bet you if somebody T-bones your car, you ain't hopping out your car saying, "Oh, happy days," right? So if someone has the power to make you unhappy, they have the power to create some happiness in your world. When your husband picks up his underwear, puts it in the dirty clothes hamper, and does the yard and the dishes and cleans the garage, don't tell me you ain't having happy days. What I am going to say is your core joy does not need to be dependent on outside things. Joy is an internal thing that you're going to have joy no matter the circumstances. But at the end of the day, happiness can be circumstantial. A tree falls on my house, I ain't happy. A tree did not fall on my house during a storm, I have gratitude. And we always want to have a mindset of gratitude, but let's be honest, outside things, it impact our emotions, and we need to learn how to calibrate that on the inside. Stop using cliches just because everybody uses them. Does not make them right. Okay. So when you think about your emotional intelligence, you can influence people just like people can influence you. How do you take the gap in emotional intelligence so you can respond as the woman you want to be and not the woman you have been? Because some of us have been women. Yeah, they're from the south side of the kingdom and we don't want to see them too frequently, right? And so it's not about being emotionless, it's about being emotionally wise. Emotional intelligence fuels better relationships, stronger leadership, and balanced decision making. And all of those are a secret weapon to having a work-life balance. And in this world where we are busier than we've ever been before, you need the tools in your toolbox so that you can craft a winning life. No one would think of going to the NBA without having a coach, but we expect to craft a winning life without having any assistance. But CEOs for years have had coaches. Coaching may be new to you, but coaching is not new to the C-suite. CEOs, CIOs, and CFOs have had, and COOs have had coaches and mentors surrounding them so they can gain clarity of vision, so that they can get strong strategies, so they don't have to DIY themselves to success. So what we're looking at today is, what are the tools you need to craft your winning life? And first, we need to get crystal clear on, what does a winning life look like for you? So here I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, because this is implementing everything that you have learned through these steak dinners on Tuesday nights, implementing everything you have learned so that you can now craft this winning life. We have spent 8 meetings on this, and the first thing that I'm going to do is, we're going to get crystal clear on, what does a winning life look like for you? And so I'm going to ask you to contribute in the chat for me. What does a winning life look like for you? Winning life look like for you? This is a question that only you can answer. Now, this is the thing that is so funny to me, that when I ask people, describe for me what success looks like for you, describe for me the quality of life you want to create, describe for me what a winning life looks like for you, people will often tell me what they don't want. Well, I don't want to be in this job a year from now. I don't want to be dealing with a 3% cost of living raise when the cost of living is going up 7% every year. I don't want to have to ask for PTO time off. I don't want to have to be juggling 15 things all at once and feeling like I'm failing at everything, that I'm just surviving to keep my head above water. Don't tell me what you don't want. Tell me what you do want. Because this is the funny thing about the brain. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. And there's someone out there coined that phrase. I don't know who it was, but please tell me, what are some attributes of a winning life for you? What does that look like for you? And so when you start to look at your winning life, I always like to do this exercise with my clients that is called describing your future you. When you get to describing your future you, that means you're taking time to really look at 2 areas of your life. Where are you right now, and where do you want to go? And don't be powder puff with it, okay? So I want you to take a piece of paper. I want you to take a piece of paper, and I want you to draw a line right down the middle. So you're going to take a piece of paper, you're going to draw a line right down the middle, okay? And on one side of this piece of paper, you're going to tell me, who are you now? Who are you now? In order for you to know where you want to go, you got to first know, where are you at right now? And so when we begin to look at crafting a winning life, we get really honest with where we're at in the present day. So present day situation, this was me years ago. Some of the things that I wrote down on my who am I now. And so if any of these things happen to speak to you, write it down. But here's a few things. Back when I wrote this, back in 2017, man, I look at this and I'm such a different person than I was then. And so many things are the same. But who are you right now? Things like, what do you like? I like the color red. I'm a foodie. I own 2 cars paid for outright. I'm a God-fearing woman who's in love with Jesus in such a way that he dictates my actions, right? I'm impatient. I'm easily agitated. Potty mouth. That means I curse from time to time. Detail-oriented, extremist, prideful, resourceful, selfish, original creator, critical, loving, insightful, not trusting all the time, honest, funny, a business owner, homeowner. Write down who you are now. What are your personality traits now? What are the good and bad? Right? I don't like to say good and bad. What are the keep and change of your personality? I want you to really get clear on, who are you now? Then on the other side of the paper, who do you want to become? Now, here you want to dream God-sized dreams. And for my Christians out there who are going to say stuff like, well, I'm not materialistic, and money's not, a big deal to me. Okay, try living life with no money. Okay? Because in Ecclesiastes 10:19, it is very clear. God says money is the answer to everything. It's in your Bible. Go look it up, Ecclesiastes 10:19. So stop discounting money, because you can't spend one single 24-hour period of the day and not spend some money or have somebody spending money on you. So write down what you want. Do you want to be a philanthropist? Do you want to live a life of contribution? Do you want to live a life of significance? And what does a life of significance look like for you? Right now, I am going through a list of 12 nonprofits that I want to give a certain amount of money to each nonprofit each month of 2026. I want to go into 2026 writing checks to give back, to live a life of contribution. What does that look like for you? What people group pulls on your heart? Are you guys out there? Is this helping anybody gain some clarity on where they are and where they want to go? Because we want to craft a winning life that has a balance, that isn't all work and no fun, that isn't all fun and no work. Remember, extremities, when you go to the extremes, the enemy lives in the extremes. So we want to get crystal clear on what we want. So let me share a few things that are on my list of what I want to create. I want to be a philanthropist. I want to live debt free. That means pay off the house note too. I want to have a balanced life. Back then, 2017, I was trying to create balance. Well, I kind of had a little bit of it, but I really wanted it to be on steroids. Organized, clean eating, more forgiving, committed to a routine yet spontaneous, chic and cutting edge, powerhouse yet humble, selfless and compassionate, kind, a game changer, a catalyst for growth, a catalyst to help single mothers thrive. Those were all things that I put as part of who I want to be as the future me. Who's the future you? What does success look like for you? I want to be on time all the time. I want to have a good heart. I want to be a role model. I want to be generous. I want to be a master blogger and a master writer. I want to be focused. I want to be a morning person who walks on the water. You get to decide who you are. You get to define you. And so that's what we're doing tonight. What does your winning life look like? And then once you decide what your winning life looks like, once you decide who you want to become, then you can begin to orchestrate a calendar that supports that. Because I'm God-fearing, Sunday mornings, I'm going to be in somebody's church. 9 out of 10 times, I may take a Sunday off every quarter, but 9 out of 10 times, I'm in somebody's house of God. And I'm worshiping and I'm engaged and I'm loving on people. That's important to me. Relationships are important to me. So I seek out to have dinner or lunch with certain people throughout my month. There are certain people that I am going to make sure I spend time with, because relationships are important to me. My business is important to me. So there's a certain amount of time that I now prioritizing my time with my priorities. Now I'm going to have a certain amount of growth that I do each week. Like for me, I try to read a book a week. So that means I'm listening to a book on Audible and I'm reading a book as well. So that book that I'm listening to on Audible, I read at the same time, because it increases your cognitive retention. And so those are all things, because I know the type of woman I want to be. I want to be a master blogger. That means I need to have content to blog about. I want to be married. I want to be wealthy. I want to be a perfect size 8. That means I need to work out. I need to eat healthier. When you're looking at who you want to be, once you determine who you want to be, then you begin to put habits with those labels that you want to create for your life. So if I want to be a perfect size 8, then there's some habits that go into becoming a perfect size 8. Now, once you get clear on the future you and who you want to be, then you can get clear on what are the habits I need to create in order to reach that goal of becoming that person. We are human beings, not human doings. We are human beings, not human doings. So in being a human being, we have to decide, what type of person do I want to be? And I don't have to be the person that I've always been. I want you to get that. You don't have to be the person you've always been. You can decide to craft a different life for yourself. I used to be a workaholic that worked 70, 80 hours a week. Now I sometimes like, Brenda, did you put in a good 40? Did you put in a good 50? Work-life balance. I can decide how I want to live my life. That meant I had to make some different life choices. So if this is cluing in, if this is resonating with anyone on gaining clarity on who they want to be so they can determine the habits they need to create, put in there, I'm going to be a habit master based on who I want to be. I'm going to be a habit master based on who I want to be. So when we look at crafting habits, we have to stop and think about what triggers our habits, right? And oftentimes the scripture says that people who cast off restraint, people who lack vision cast off restraint. That means we'll procrastinate when we don't have a clear vision of what our future is going to look like. That means that we will cast off restraint. We may not get up like we're supposed to get up and go work out when we're not crystal clear on who we want to be. We may not spend the amount of time studying our word or spend the amount of time studying our craft and being a student of our craft when we have not taken the time to etch out time for growth. So we get to decide who we're going to be based on the habits that we create around the future we want to create. So you got to have a vision of your future so you can create it in your habits. Okay. And so when you begin to looking at crafting your winning life, you first have to decide, who am I now? The good, the bad, and the indifferent, the keeper, the change, the pluses and the minuses. Who am I right now today? And then who do I want to be? Get crystal clear on that. I usually ask my clients to come up with 20 of each. And then what would hinder you from bridging the gap from where you are to where you want to be? What will hinder you? This is the number one reason why most people don't achieve their goals. They never stop and they look at the barriers that hinder their ability to move from point A to point B. What are the barriers that will keep you? Is it a fear of the unknown? Is it a fear of success? Is it a fear of rejection? Is it a fear of missing out? What is the fear? What is the barrier? Is it procrastination, lack of focus, indecisiveness, analysis paralysis, self-worth? What is it? What is that barrier that is keeping you from your it factor? Okay. And so then the next thing is, when you think about who the future you that you want to be, you get to write that story. You get to write that paragraph. You get to write that next chapter. You also need to think, okay, how would millionaire Brenda think? How would a powerhouse Brenda think? How would a humble Brenda think? How would a selfless Brenda think? So you want to think about, what are some thought patterns that you currently have that you need to shift so that you can craft your winning life? Do you have a poverty mentality that means that your savings account is your security blanket? Then that means that you will allow money to stop you from getting the growth and the resources you need so that you can build the life you want, because you're holding on so tight to a security blanket called a savings account, a 401k. Not saying that you shouldn't have it, but when you look at many people who have done the impossible, many of those people live a life that, hold on just a moment. Many of those people live a life where they went into an all or none mode. They went into an all or none mode. And so sometimes, in order for us to go after our dreams, we have to burn the boat in order to walk on the water. And so I really am asking you guys to really take a deep look at what a winning life looks like for you. What are the ways that you need to think? What are the books that you will need to read? Do you need to stop reading romance novels and start reading financial literacy books or business entrepreneur books? Or do you need to start reading books on coaching if you're seeking to become an aspiring coach? What is it that you need to read to craft your winning life so that you can gain the knowledge you need to forge forward with a consistency that creates breakthrough? How would the future you act? How would the future you act? Would you be anxious all the time? Would you be impulsive? Would you be rushed all the time? Will you be feeling pressure all the time? Or will you give yourself grace for the pace? Will you talk to yourself like you're compassionate with yourself? Will you begin to love yourself like you love on everybody else? And so when we're looking at crafting the future you, we need to understand that the distance between who you are and who you might be is closing in when you start to define the future you. What does success look like for you? What does the winning life look like for you? And what does balance look like for you? Does balance look like working a 5-day work week or a 4-day work week? Or does balance look like for you working a 6-day work week because of the season you're in? Maybe you're working a full-time job and you're doing a part-time business as well. And in that case, you need to be doing double time. What does it look like? And then what is one step that you can take to move you forward towards your future you today? Is that sign up for one-on-one custom coaching so that you can have someone who can objectively help you take a look at where you're at and where you want to go so that you can begin to craft your life without the barrier of fear, without the barrier of procrastination, without the barrier of lack of confidence? Then hire a coach and let them help you see the blind spots you can't see. What is it going to take to get you across the finish line? What do you need to do different so you can get something different? So I want to really encourage you guys as you're looking at crafting a winning life to really look at your life vision. And your life vision is going to require a little bit more from you than just sitting down and saying who you want to be. A life vision really ties into the what, how, and why. So when you're looking at a life vision, I'm going to come to you from Habakkuk 2:2 verse 3. And if you're in Christendom, you know this well. If you're not, hopefully you're open-minded enough to receive it. Write the vision and make it plain on tablets that he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak, and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So that means that you're going to make a vision, you're going to put it in play, and then you're going to have to run after it. And it's going to be a season of time where you're running after it and you're not seeing any results, where you have to have some tenacity, where you have to have some grit, where you have to have some resilience, where you have to employ the threefold cord of goal achievement: grit, tenacity, and resilience in order for you to reach your goal. But you want a life vision to create alignment with your activity and your future. You create your future in the present. In this present moment, you are creating your future. And so in order to create a future that will thrive, a future that will last the test of time, in order for you to create a future that has vision and that has what you want, you need to make sure that you're crystal clear and you get granular. You get into the surgical elements of the details so that you can really craft the life that you want, so that you can really live the quality of life that your family deserves. God is for you. He is not against you. So what are you doing to craft the life that you want to live? What's happening with that? How are you doing it? How are you putting it together? Who are you bringing into your midst? And so when we look at crafting a winning life, we need to get clear on that life vision. And so when we look at getting clear on that life vision, I like for people to take a look and really look at connecting with the source who gives purpose. If you're looking to discover your purpose, one of the number one things you need to do is connect to the source that gives purpose. Connect to the source within. At some point during your day or week, take a moment to reflect on the future you are creating today. I like to call this dream parties. When you emotionally connect with your future you that you are defining, then the heart releases the faith you need in order for you to accomplish that. And we're going to need faith because there's going to be naysayers, there's going to be haters, there's going to be hiccups, there's going to be all kinds of things throughout your life that is going to cause you to pause and say, is this really what God said? What I'm going to challenge you to do, instead of doubting what God says in the hallways, in the dark hallways, instead of doubting what he said in the light, when you hit the hallway, have a dream party of what he said, the vision he gave you. Go into the future and emotionally connect with it. Create a space where you can have a daily dream party and emotionally connect with the future you. Don't be surprised if your vision expands as you begin to do these dream parties. You don't live in the future. We talked about this last week. When you spend too much time in the future, then you're going to feel anxious and disappointed because it's not happening like that. When you spend too much time in the past, your past can literally create your future because your past will dictate your actions in the present, which will then create a boomerang of what you've experienced in the past, right? But the present is where you spend the majority of your time. So you want to spend 5% of your time in the past, reflect on it, learn the lessons from the past. You want to spend 15% of your time in the future. Who's the future you? Who are you becoming? Getting emotionally connected with it. And then in the present, you spend 80% of your time plowing down through what you need to do to create that being that you are creating. We love who we are now, but we are excited to the person we are becoming. Love who you are now. Be compassionate with who you are. Keep or change, not good or bad, the issues that you have in your life, your character, different things of that nature. But as you are evolving and as you are becoming, emotionally connect with that new vision, because then it begins to expand as your faith expands. Then you got to deal with the fear factor. Look, anytime you go to a new level, fear is going to show up. Fear is going to show up and it is going to show out. Fear is going to say to you, can you really do that? Can you really afford to spend that kind of money? Can you really afford to spend that kind of time on a class? Can you really afford to invest that type of resource in a life of contribution? Fear is going to show up and say, are you smart enough to do that? You know, you aren't the best student. You know that most millionaires and self-made millionaires, they weren't good academic students, because they didn't learn well under a 4-hour lecture and you go regurgitate it on a test. That's not how they learned well. So when you begin to look at going into the future you and crafting your winning life, you're going to have to deal with fear. And these are the things that I try to help people really get into their psyche. When it comes to dealing with fear, don't let fear have a vote. That means that, like, I had a woman who I've been trying to win her business for 4 years now. And I kind of, chuckled when she said, well, I got to save up the money. And I was like, so 4 years ago, I quoted you a price and you haven't saved up anything for the coaching. You're in pretty much, you're still working a job. You still haven't put together a workplace exit strategy. You still haven't moved forward in your life dream. And it's been 4 years. You can't go get 4 years worth of time back, but you can go get another $2,500 back. You can earn $2,500 again, but you can't get wasted time back. But fear caused her to vote against herself. It's not like she went and hired another coach, a cheaper coach. She didn't hire anybody and she didn't move forward. Fear had a vote on her growth. Don't give fear a vote, because understand, fear is designed to destroy, to kill, and to steal your destiny. Whenever you let fear speak, whenever you give fear a voice, whenever you give fear an opportunity to dictate your actions, you are giving fear the ability to craft your future. And we know that fear is the voice of the enemy. Fear is the voice of Satan. Fear is the voice that is telling you that you can't do something that God has already equipped you to do. Fear. Don't let fear steal your future. Eliminate the I can't and the I don't know factor. With the Holy Spirit, Google, and ChatGPT, what can you not figure out? God gives you people and relationships that can show you a quicker way. You know, my mentors, they are multi-serial entrepreneurs that sit down and talk to me about their thought process, how they work, right? Because I don't want to just own Breakthrough for Life. I want to own multiple businesses. So I have serial entrepreneurs that are my mentors to help me get rid of the I can't and the I don't know factor. But you can pray and God can show you who to connect with. You can Google how to create what you're trying to create in your life. What is the meaning of life for? What is it? What is the meaning of life for people? You can go down through the list and determine, okay, this isn't it for me, that ain't it for me, that ain't it for me, but this is it for me. And you determine, what is your winning life? What does that look like for you? And when you deal with the fear factor, you literally evict fear from being the head coach of your life. You basically tell it to take a hike. It no longer has a space in your world. It no longer has a place to live. Tell fear it's time for it to get ghost. Evict fear from being present in your life. Evict it. Next, you want to get an accurate view of who you were originally designed to be before life happened to you. You were created with a specific gift set that's all your own. You need to hone in on that and identify what is your gift. And it's hard to identify your gift because your gifts, you're with yourself all the time. They seem normal to you. They seem normal to you. So you may need to employ other people who say, you know what am I really good at? And let them share with you what they think you're really good at so that you can grow, so you can thrive, so you can identify your gift set. Because you're with yourself all day, it's hard for you to identify what your gift set is because it's normal to you. You may need to get some outside help for that. Then you need to believe in the gift and the talents that are within you. If God gave it to you, he gave it to you so that you can give it as a gift to the world. Don't take your gift and your light and hide it up under a bushel. You need to take it to the hilltop and let it shine bright. Don't be that servant that had all these talents and buried them. Use your talents, but you're going to have to get the vision. You're going to have to connect with the source, and you're going to have to deal with the fear factor. And then develop your gifts by adding skills and talents to it. So when you can't see your gift, ask others what they think you're good at, but don't let that be your final decision. So when it comes to really tying into your gift and your purpose and giving it away to the world so that you can craft a winning life, so that you can live work-life balance, you need to take everything into account. What are your strengths? What are your talents? And what are your skills? Your strengths, what are you good at? Your talent, what are you gifted in doing? Your skills, what skills have you acquired? What skills do you need to acquire? Because a winning life is birthed with vision, it is processed with discipline, and it succeeds with intentionality. So I'm going to say that for you again. A winning life is birthed with vision. It is processed with discipline, and it succeeds with intentionality. So when you're looking at crafting a winning life, these are 5 things that you can immediately put to use. Connect with your source, deal with the fear factor, get accurate view of who you were originally created to be before life happened to you. I like to call it the be the authentic you. And then you want to dial into your skills, your talents, and your strengths so that you can determine your purpose and your passion in life. And last but not least is your winning statement. A winning life is birthed with vision, it is processed with discipline, and it succeeds with intentionality. And so when we begin to look at this winning life, we want to dial in also into what our purpose is, what's the engine for us to deliver our purpose to the world, and why is that purpose important to us. And so I am going to really challenge you. If you are in this season of life where you really want to not live another year the way you've lived the last 5 years, if you want to live a life that you can wake up to and say, I'm absolutely in love with the life I'm living, then I really challenge you to reach out to me, schedule a free discovery call so that we can develop a custom coaching journey that is designed to help you craft a winning life. And so help you get balance in the areas of life where you struggle. Help you get the emotional intelligence that you need. Help you with the decision fatigue. You know, we talked about with decision fatigue, we talked about the decision hierarchy matrix, where you get crystal clear, a simple framework for categorizing decisions into levels of importance and urgency. And this hierarchy helps you so that you can make decisions that are going to move you forward and not keep you stuck. We also talked about micro routines so that you can have micro routines in place throughout your day so that you can reserve your energy, so that you can act on a habit that propels you forward. The pro-life tip that I gave in one of these lives was tie these tools into a faith-based coaching approach by emphasizing how clarity and purpose align with living a life of significance and abundance. Get a breakthrough for life and not a Band-Aid for now. DIY is an expensive way to craft a winning life. That means you have to learn from the school of hard knocks. You have to learn from your own mistakes. How about you do something different and learn from the mistakes of other people? When you think about going into the extremities where you're eating too much or you're not eating enough, when you go into sleeping too much and not sleeping enough, or working too much and not having enough guilt-free playtime, you need to remember that balance is intentionality. You need to be intentional with how you spend your time. You need to be intentional about how you craft your day. And if you can win the first hour of your morning, then you can begin to win your day. And if you can win your day, you can win your week. And when you win your week, you win your month. And when you win your month, you win your year. And then you're living a winning life. And so I hope that these tips and tools that I have been giving to you for the past 6 to 8 weeks can help you craft the life that you want. I'd love to hear from you, see what it is that you're looking for in the next few weeks. We will probably take next week off. It's the first week of June. I have been going strong. So we probably won't have a live next week. And I will probably post the most popular live I had from the different series that I've done. There will be a video that comes to you on Tuesday at 7:30, but it won't be me here live giving it to you. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to give me what you want to work on. Let me know how you need assistance in thriving in this life. And I want to help you win from the bedroom to the boardroom. And this has been Brenda Underwood, Coach BU, here to help you win at life. And let me recap for you the ways that I help you win. One is I certify life coaches. So if you're interested in becoming a certified life coach, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Our next class is starting July 12th, and you can schedule a free discovery call for that. That 45-minute discovery call, you're going to learn everything you need to learn about these programs that I offer. That 18-week certification class to become a breakthrough coach, a transformational coach. It is 18 weeks and it's taught on Saturday mornings from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Next is going to be the Barrier Breaker program, which helps people break the barriers that keep them from winning at life. Fear, doubt, self-worth issues, procrastination. Let's get in there, spend 10 weeks, and let's crush those barriers so that you can win at life and become a woman of action. Go from being a procrastinator to a producer and craft your winning life. The next one is work-life exit strategy. That program is designed to help you put together a workplace exit strategy to make your job optional until it is time to make your job obsolete. Those are the programs that I offer. And so I hope that you will schedule a discovery call, get dialed in so you can get the help you need so that you can spring forward into your winning life. And if you are one of those who you're not sure, I don't know if I really want to make a big investment, a big time investment, let me just get a clarity coaching session. We do have clarity coaching sessions. Those are 90-minute clarity coaching sessions that are designed for you to walk away with a goal achievement blueprint, understanding the psychology of goal achievement, and walking away with a blueprint that can help you gain clarity on your next steps. Then that's one coaching session. That's a 90-minute coaching session. Now, during spring, starting today until the end of June, you have what is called the Spring Forward program. That is 5 one-on-one coaching sessions that you spring forward into goal achievement through this program. And this program is designed to help you spring forward in one major goal that will change the trajectory of your future. It's going to help you deflate some of your barriers, not all of them, because we only have 5 weeks. So we're going to deflate your biggest barrier. We're going to craft clarity around your biggest goal, and we're going to put together a goal achievement blueprint that you start fleshing out within the 5 weeks of us working together so that you can spring forward into goal achievement and craft your winning life, a life that you can fall in love with day after day, month after month, year after year. So with that being said, that's how I can help you. I hope this series has been helpful for you. I hope that you have enjoyed the journey. And I will see you next week with a pre-recorded steak dinner, and then we'll come to you live with something brand spanking new based on what my audience says they need for them to win at life. This is Coach BU, the breakthrough strategist, here to help you win at life from the bedroom to the boardroom. So let's get going and let's start taking action that gets traction and get a breakthrough for life and not a band-aid for now. This is Coach